All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, SHIPIT Nation YouTube station? We are back with another edition of the MLB show for today. Lucky number 777, July 7th. I got my guy in here, Hoop, to talk about a 9-game slate with me. And we got a rule over here at the Nation. The rule is if you win $50,000 one day, you got to come on the show the next. Hoop, congratulations. I didn't know it was your birthday. Happy belated birthday. How was your weekend outside of that? Congratulations yesterday. What's going on, my man?
Yeah, so it's always a long weekend for myself. My birthday is the 1st, so it kind of July 1st, then rolls into 4th of July. So like by Sunday of 4th of July weekend, like my body's like begging me to like, let's take a break on the drinks here and the food, and let's get back to reality. That's kind of the case yesterday. And as we were just chilling, nothing planned, but yeah, I got there with the $50,000 win, won the main contest on DraftKings. We were talking about it a little bit before. The team obviously came out of nowhere. It was kind of like a lower score. Besides the pitching, it was somewhat of a lower scoring slate. So like if anything big happened at the end, you had a chance. I just had like literally the perfect run out with the Tigers scoring those runs at the end. Sweeney hit the homer, and then Riley Green hit the homer. I had both those guys on the team, and then I needed the Boston stack to do a little bit more, and like their 9th hitter hit a home run and shot me to the top, and then boom, stayed there. It was a weird, you can't even call it a sweat because I was like never really live to win anything until right at the end, and got all the way home. And I did focus on those main pitchers yesterday, which did put me in a pretty good spot. I mean, those top guys just absolutely went off. Skubal, Wheeler, and fortunate enough to get back in the big boy winner circle. And like you said, now I'm here to talk some baseball. We got the 9-game slate tonight. Looking forward to it.
You had Skubal and Wheeler, and then the Tigers. I think they got one hit, and then McKinstry pinch ran and stole a base, and got a ground out, and then a pass ball. Yeah, just an incredible run out. Let's say hello to some people in chat. Jason Turner, what's going on? Go Collect as always. Jacob Stubbs is in here. BG Littleneck, Kid Lightning, Brian Durham, Richard, nice to see you again, man. It's been a while. Rodney in there. Ricky Rose, what's going on? Let's talk about it. Please do us a favor. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe button. Does us a huge favor here. And if you aren't a member over here at the Nation, head on over there now. Enter the promo code MLB75. That'll get you $75 off. Your first month, take it down from $99 to $24. Can get the all access and the Saber Sim core. Right as we head into a little preseason NFL action. NFL's right around the corner. My guy Hoop, Tambo title, they run the NFL over here doing it. And talking a little bit about the Saber Sim, our partner over there. I know Hoop used Saber Sim yesterday to get his 50K stack. But yeah, if you enter the promo code MLB75, you'll get this second row over here, this core package. The best value is that starter package that gets you up to 500 lineups, but just a great deal that we got going on right now. Hoop, let's dive right into it. 9 games, we talk about it. We always like to break down the pitchers to start, then we'll get into it game by game. But just looking at the DraftKings pricing today, they got it at $8,100. We used to go $8K and above. We'll go $8,800 or $8,100 today. So let's go from the top, which is Yamamoto at 10.5, all the way down to Noah Cameron at 8,100. Talk to me about this range of pitchers.
Yeah, I mean, so one thing I always try to do when I build teams, and some days it's harder than others, I do try to narrow it down at pitcher. Like I try to not play everybody. I try to narrow it down as much as possible, as much as I'm comfortable with. And I'm, I guess, kind of struggling with that today. Like a lot of these guys I think are like okay plays, fringe plays, guys I can keep in the player pool. Yamamoto and Jacob deGrom, I think, are obviously in kind of a tier of their own, 10.5 and 10.3. So it's not their price tag's not prohibitive at all. You can easily play them. You can pair them together. Some really cheap bats, always cheap bats. That's the one thing that, people are like, oh, I can't pay for the pitchers. Well, you can usually pay for the pitchers because there are always a lot of cheap bats. And that's one thing that DraftKings has done different from years ago. Years ago, it was very rare to have a everyday starting bat to be in the 2K range. Well, now we get like a ton of those guys any given day. So it does make it easier to play the guys. If you want to pair those two up, I'd be totally fine with it. Depends what you're doing, how many teams you're building and whatnot. I'm doing, I think, like maybe 100 teams or something today. So I will have some of those guys paired together. I'm just going to continue down the pricing spectrum. Freddie Peralta has been good. The spot is just about as bad as it gets against the Dodgers. That's the one drawback. He's won, 9,000 on the nose, but he's been very, very consistent. I mean, he's been at least 17 fantasy points in like 6 straight games. This spot is a challenge. I'm going to keep him in the player pool because you see it where these above average pitchers can shut down even the best offenses from time to time. So I'm fine with him. Sanchez at 88, really good spot in San Francisco. He's been good as well. 24 fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5. Definitely take that at 8,800. Barrios draws a really good matchup against the White Sox in Chicago. What is his true upside? That's the big question. But he got rocked last time out, but prior to that, 27 and 32 fantasy points. So he does have some upside. And then like you, Darvish, definitely not playing, coming off the 60-day DL, like no interest there. Noah Cameron is a guy that I could maybe play. He's like one of those fringe guys. Like when I build my teams, I'm gonna leave him in there. I'm not gonna like force him in though at all. So I mean, I do like a lot of these guys. I think the guys at the top are in a tier of their own. But Sanchez appears to be the next guy right there at 8,800. I think that's in a really good spot. So going to play a lot of these guys. Won't be playing Darvish, and Cameron is, if I get him sort of play.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on Sanchez. I think he's going to be popular. I was looking. We're showing him at 25%. I think it's a little higher. Like if you're playing that 111 or even the Lotto today in DK, I think he'll be higher than 25% owned. He's in a great spot. We love that ballpark. Where I differ from you is I really like Noah Cameron today. I was hoping you would say you were on him. Cool. I got my notebook handy right now.
I mean, it's honestly teetering enough where your opinion puts me in more on him because I'm willing to definitely play a lot of these guys. So I'm glad you like them.
Yeah, no, I like him. $8,100. The Pirates offense, it has been a little bit better, but still striking out 25% versus lefties over the last 30 days. So, I'm in on Cameron. And then, DeGrom's in a great spot against those Angels bats who just love to strike out. He's going to be popular as well. And then Yamamoto. This Brewers team, did the Brewers scare you at all against Yamamoto, or you're just still just hammering Yamamoto in, even though it's I guess a little bit tougher matchup?
Yeah, I'm still fine with it. I mean, these top pitchers usually can overcome like the better offenses. So I'm fine with him. Like, the one reason I'm willing to spread it out so much is I don't think there's like a must absolute play on the slate. And like these guys, like Yamamoto, the range of outcomes is very wide. Like I could see Milwaukee hitting off him, and I could see him going out and getting 30-some fantasy points. So definitely good regardless of the matchup. But I do think, pitching's pretty wide open. So I'm not like forcing myself into him by any means.
Got it. What about some of these guys down here? I mean, we're not going to play Austin Gomber, but what about, any Zach Gallen interest? Let's go 8K and below, $7,800 Zach Gallen. I'll cut it off at Sean Burke at 5,500, who's had back-to-back strong outings. Any love for anybody in this range?
Yeah, it definitely gets a little messier when you get down here. I will start at the top with Gallen. Going against San Diego, probably not the best, but the ballpark is plus, and he hasn't been good, but he did show up for a really good start last time out with like 30 some fantasy points. He's under 8K. It was in Arizona against San Francisco. He's had some big performances this year. Price under 8K, a guy I will keep in the player pool. Kikuchi is the guy that probably stands out here the most. It's 7,200. At home in this good ballpark. He's been very steady lately. The strikeouts, he's had at least 7 strikeouts in his last 4, 7, 12, 9, 10, 5. Like, he's one of those guys that you can play, and you can play stacks against him. And I think that's what I'll probably be doing tonight. But at 72 with his strikeout upside, just seems like a very, very strong play, probably underpriced. Tanner Beebe, 7K, I think is fine. And then the rest of these guys down here, pretty tough. Gordon at 7K. All these guys have had some decent, besides like Heaney and Gomber, and I don't have much interest in Burke, but all these guys have had decent starts, like Gordon, Rupp. This Fitz guy, it probably ends up getting a little bit of ownership today. Junk. What do you say with Fitz?
Dick Fitz.
Dick Fitz, yeah. Dick Fitz. The Dick does the Dick fit into your DraftKings lineups tonight is the real question. But at 62, big favorite, obviously going against a shitty offense. Like, I'm fine. So I'm gonna potentially play some of these guys down here, not really forcing anyone in. I mean, Kikuchi with the strikeout upside appears to be the best, but what do you got down here?
Yeah, I mean, I listed old Dickie Fitz in there in the slate plan that I did today. We're showing 10% ownership. I think it's higher than that. I mean, this Rockies team, they're pretty bad. We've seen it time and time again. I mean, you just plug in the pitcher. I think it was the Brewers a couple weeks ago. I mean, they had guys that I've never even heard of striking out 9-10. Rockies, they're just very bad, especially on the road. You can see up and down here, everybody's striking out in the 20s outside of one guy. So I like him. You didn't mention Brady Singer, which I like Brady Singer at home against this Miami offense. What do you have Singer?
Yeah, so I got him in there. Yeah, it's one of the. It's like there's like 5 or 6 guys that I'm just gonna keep in there, and if I get some, I get some, and he's one of them.
Yeah. So I mean, you said it at the top. I mean, there's just so many guys. I mean, Andrew Heaney at 6,500 coming off a 30-point performance. Yeah. It's just a lot of guys in here. There's no standout, like you said. DeGrom and Yamamoto would be the top 2. And that's why they're the highest price by $1,500. So, yeah, I think it's more of who you're taking out than anything because there's just a lot of different options.
Yeah, agree. And then this is a good question. How do you get the crappy guys to do good like Hoop does? You want to turn it with Bryson Stott and Trey Sweeney. That is the power of SaberSim. I won 50,000 earlier on in the season stacking against Paul Skeens. So I had like a 3-man stack against Skeens. It's the 2 top pitchers on the slate. Like you just get combinations that a lot of people aren't going to have, and when it hits, it fully hits. It's not like you're getting a top 10; you're getting all the way to the top of the leaderboard. It's a powerful tool.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, SaberSim. If you aren't a member, $24, you can at least try it out for 30 days. Yeah. It's a great tool. No better deal in the industry today. If you had to rank, let's just rank the top 3, Hoop, if you don't mind. Like, who's your top 3? Let's take out Yamamoto and DeGrom and go from there. Yeah. I know that's kind of cheating, but if you had to just say, hey, I'm going to, Yamamoto and DeGrom are definitely the top 2. So I guess who's your 3, 4, and 5?
Yeah, I think Sanchez, I definitely like. I might like Sanchez even more than those guys up top. I mean, it's a nice price discount. I mean, you're 1,700 from Yamamoto and then 1,500 from DeGrom. So it's definitely him. Kikuchi's upside, I think, is very appealing. So interested there. It does kind of fall off quite a bit. I mean, it's probably the cheap dudes just taking a shot on dudes like, Dick Fitz or even this junk dude at 6K flat. So I'm pretty wide open after like the top 4-ish. So I'll just go with like the cheaper guys. Maybe throw BB in there too. And what's up to my guy Landa? Landa's supported for a long time and love seeing his name pop up in the chat.
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, I think I like Barrios a little bit more than
him too. Yeah, that's a good call.
He's got a good. I feel like there's a lot of guys that got good matchups, but he's got a good matchup. It's not the Yankees, right? Who he had last time where he had a bad outing, but back-to-back 30 burgers before that against might have even been against this White Sox team. 28 against them 3 starts ago. So yeah, let's move it on. We're going to keep it going. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button for us. We're going to go game by game here. Rockies at the Red Sox. Any interest in this? I mean, the Red Sox have over a 6 implied run total. Talk to me a little bit about this game. Are you going to have any, say, mini Rockies? And then I'm assuming you're going to like the Red Sox.
Yeah, I mean, top offense on the slate. Like if I'm going to pick who do I think scores the most runs tonight, you would probably pick the Red Sox. They're in a really good spot. Cheap stack. I mean, really, when you look at it, I mean, it is not expensive to stack up the Red Sox. So the one thing that I'll be looking to do is, what I kind of did yesterday with the Red Sox. And again, another reason or another situation where Saber will kind of do it for you is get creative with the stacks. If you go in there and just play the top 5 guys, you're going to be battling against a large majority of the field. And all it takes in these popular stacks is to kind of come down to the bottom and play guys like Rafaela or Toro, or, I think Wilmer Abreu, really good. I mean, he's the most expensive bat for Boston, and he's batting 7th. That will keep his ownership in check. I mean, all these guys are going to get some, but you go from, 25 to 30% ownership with those guys in the top of the order down to, maybe 10 to 15 with these guys at the bottom. So I'll definitely be prioritizing the bottom of the Red Sox stack tonight. And it's just an easy way to get different. I mean, Eaton's going to be very popular, $2,500 batting leadoff. So just be creative with your Boston stacks. Like if you're hand building, definitely, if I was hand building a Boston stack tonight, what I would do, I would definitely start with Abreu at 4,500. Looks the most expensive bat for Boston, batting 7th. His ownership will probably be the lowest owned part of the Boston stacks tonight. So I'd probably start there and then kind of work my way down. And I love the wraparound for Boston. Just going those dudes at the bottom. You can come up with Eaton if you want. If you don't want Eaton, you can pass them up. Go, Rami Gonzalez, and then, Roman Anthony. All those guys, really good plays. They will be the most popular, but, embrace the bottom of the lineup. Then Colorado, I think, is interesting as well. I mean, if Dick Fitz is going to be owned tonight, which it appears that he's going to get at least some ownership. It's not like he's going to be very highly owned, but he's going to get some. People are going to like the fact that he's minus 250 favorite essentially at home. Like, can this guy grind me out 15 fantasy points? That's what people are going to be thinking. Stacking against him, I think, makes some sense here tonight. I would definitely make sure to get Hunter Goodman in there. If you are stacking the Rockies today, 5,100. When people stack shitty teams, they don't want to pay a price tag. They want to stack the shitty teams and save some money. Like when I stack the shitty teams, I want the expensive guys. And Goodman's a guy I would definitely get in there. Ryan McMahon, I think, is solid in the 6 hole. He's cheap at 36. So I definitely think Colorado stacks are in play. You can do 3-mans, you can do 5s. And then on the Boston side, like prioritize the bottom of the order to just at least get yourself a little bit different.
Yeah, totally agree with everything that you said. Goodman, I have him written up as one of the top 5 hitters on the slate today. And then, McMahon, I was thinking too, like McMahon's been 3 or 4, I feel like, his whole career, even this season too. And now he's batting 6. So I like
so many ways you can go with these Dick Fitz jokes. It's it's incredible.
Yeah. So I like them both. Maybe a little game stack there. Moving on to the next game. Got the Marlins taking on the Reds. Jansen Junk versus Brady Singer. Any interest in this Marlins team, who just has been pretty bad over the last couple of weeks? But any love for any of these Marlins? I think these Reds get some ownership. Talk to me about this game, Marlins at the Reds.
Yeah, I mean, another game where I think both offenses appear to be relatively appealing. I mean, I do think Cincinnati gets more ownership because of the names. I mean, people know Ellie De La Cruz and, probably McLean and maybe even TJ Friedel. But, man, you look at the Marlins side, I think they're in play too. And I just refuse to believe the Marlins are ever going to be popular. So I know there's some talk in our Discord. Everyone's going to be on the Marlins. You look at these names, who the hell wants to play guys like Liam Hicks and Augustine Ramirez? They're just not household names. So I just refuse to believe that the Marlins get like a substantial amount of ownership. They'll get some, I mean, because it is a nice ballpark for them here tonight, but I just refuse to believe that they get a ton. So I'm in on both sides. I mean, you can get very nasty with these Marlin stacks going down to the bottom and playing some of these dudes. So a lot of different ways to do it. With the Reds, I guess you kind of look at it, and there are a lot of guys you can play here. You can go to the bottom, like Stevenson, Benson, Marte are all relatively high upside sort of guys. So, this is a game that you can play it all around. I think you can play the pitchers, which we already talked about, and you can definitely stack the offenses. That's why today, when it comes to the stacks and my pitching, I'm going to be more spread out than I typically am. I mean, you can make a case for a lot of different things on the slate. So I'm in on both offenses. I think they're both in really good spots, and that's kind of where I'm at.
Yep. Excellent breakdown there. I agree with what you said. It's tough. It's tough click for the Marlins for sure. I actually have some interest in Brady Singer over on DraftKings. I wouldn't play Singer on FanDuel, I don't believe.
No, with you.
Yeah, moving on to the next one. Dodgers at the Brewers. Two good real-life pitchers. Yeah, you talked about this Dodgers team. I mean, you got the wow factor with them. They got beat up pretty good this weekend. But any interest for these Dodgers against Peralta? Is it more of a one-off? Is it more of a 3-man, 5-man? What you doing in this game? Dodgers at the Brewers.
Yeah, I think it's definitely kind of what you alluded to. I do want to play some. I'm going to play Freddie Peralta. I'm going to have some of him, but I am also going to have some Dodgers, and I think it is more 3-man for me opposed to like the full-on 5-man. It gets expensive very quickly. I do want to feature the big bats, like anything I'm doing with the Dodgers. I just definitely wanted to include Ohtani, and he is expensive at 6,500, but it's probably more 3-man. Situations, and I'm kind of picking and choosing who I want. And I think it's definitely Ohtani, maybe Teoscar Hernandez in there, but it's going to be I'm going to be very careful with how I, choose my Dodger stacks. And then on the Brewer side, not a ton. I'm not opposed to playing some of these guys. Yamamoto is in a good spot. I do like him. He's probably going to be one of the highest owned pitchers on the slate, but that doesn't mean that Milwaukee can't do something here. So I'm fine with, the higher upside guys, Yelich, Contreras, Chiro, like those sort of dudes. So, it's not a great game and one of the lower totals on the slate from an offensive standpoint because of two solid pitchers, but I don't think you have to totally avoid it.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Low total. This Brewers, they just play too much small ball for me. I mean, Contreras, Yelich, and Chiro can go yard, but I like Yamamoto more than I like the Brewers, and then it's Ohtani for me and Will Smith. I like Ohtani and Will Smith for the Dodgers tonight against Freddie Peralta. Yeah. Moving on to the next game, we got Coors Field 2.0, the Pirates invading the Royals. I have a lot of interest in Noah Cameron, only $8,100 on DraftKings. We talked about Heaney, how he was balling out his last game. Got Tommy Pham back in the leadoff spot. Loves him a righty. Looks like Noah Cameron's going to face 9 righties. So any interest in any of these Pirates bats taking on the Royals in Kansas City?
Yeah, I think you've kind of sold me a little bit more on Cameron. So I'm not loving this Pirates situation. I mean, they are dirt cheap. So, I mean, if you're looking for a situation where you want to play the 2 top pitchers and maybe you want like a 3-man Dodgers expensive stack and you just need a cheap stack, I don't hate coming here, but I'm not actively searching for Pirate stacks tonight. So mostly out. I will be in on the Royals though tonight. I mean, pretty big team total, kind of hovering right around 5. The guys, you definitely want. It was one of those situations. When I'm playing Royals, I'm going to make sure I get Bobby Witt Jr. in there. I'm going to make sure I probably play Sal Perez. India is cheap. So I'm in on the Royals. Probably, more specific to how I'm stacking it. I don't love the bottom of the order for the Royals. We talked about it a lot with some of these other teams going to the bottom. I don't love the bottom. Like, I'm going to play the Royals. I'm just going to play it straight up. I'm going to play the best batters and not really get all that cute win stacking the Royals. But, yeah, not a ton on the Pirate side. I mean, you sold me on Cameron. I'm going to be on him a little bit more. So I don't see myself getting much on the Pirate side.
Bump Cameron up about 10%, Hoop, and thank me later.
The plan now. Yeah, I'm in. I'm an easy sale.
Yeah, to Tommy Pham. I mean, $2,500. I didn't realize he was batting leadoff. Tommy Pham. I would think Tommy Pham would be a great pivot off Nate Eaton. If they're both batting leadoff. They're both $2,500. But you talked about it earlier. I mean, you can get these big boy pitchers, both of them, and still get a full 5-man stack. I mean, even the Pirates 1 through 5. Like, if the Pirates do damage, it's not going to be because of Jared Triolo or Henry Davis. It's going to be because Brian Reynolds, Brian Hayes, people like that. So if you wanted to go there, hey, go for it. Not for me tonight. Then, yeah, India looks like he looks really nice over here, all green across the board. And then Bobby Witt Jr., if you're going to stack the Royals, you got to get those two, in my opinion. Moving on to the next game, the Blue Jays been red hot. I believe they're in first place in the East, or were for a couple
Yeah.
days anyway. They got an over 5 implied run total. Taking on this White Sox team in the South Side. Sean Burke, back-to-back solid games. But any love for these Blue Jays? They're going to be popular. They're my second-ranked stack in the slate plan. But talk to me a little bit about this game, Blue Jays at the White Sox.
Yeah, definitely in on the Blue Jays here tonight. I think they're in a really good spot. I would rank them definitely up there, top 3 for sure in terms of offense. They've been hot. Like, again, like if I'm playing them, I want like Springer's on this heater. I want Bichette. Bichette's been solid, but I'm not opposed to going to the bottom and playing like Clement or Wagner or what is it? I don't even know how to pronounce the dude's name. Looper Fido. Seems relatively close to what it actually is. You get a cheap leadoff guy in Luke. So, I mean, I'm in on all aspects of Toronto tonight. I know Burke has been good. And it's one of those spots. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Burke pitches well and Toronto has trouble scoring runs. I wouldn't be surprised, but that's baseball. It's a high variance sport, and I'm going to be in on Toronto and hope that they continue to have success. They've been winning a lot of ball games, and I wouldn't be surprised if they scored a lot either. So I'm in on Toronto. I won't be playing the White Sox. I'm in on Berrios. I think it's a good spot for him. I'm going to be playing a lot of him. If I was going to play White Sox bats, I don't know. Actually don't really plan on playing White Sox bats. So I'll retract that statement and say, Berrios and then all of Toronto's offense tonight.
Are you keeping the White Sox in your pool? Like, do you fully X out any team?
Yeah, I usually don't fully X out. Like when I build my teams, like I typically don't fully X out. I just go in and look at the exposures. And if I'm getting a bunch of somebody, I'll just put a cap on it and make sure that I'm not getting a bunch of, one individual Chicago guy. If I get a couple, a few percentage points on these dudes, yeah, I'll keep them in there. But if like it comes through and I'm getting like 12% Lennon Sosa, like I'll make an adjustment to make sure I don't have 12% of that dude. So won't fully exit out, but I'll definitely make sure that I'm not getting a ton of any of these guys individually.
Lennon Sosa double down tonight because Hoop's going to
limit. There it is. Yeah. Well, if that's the case, hopefully I only limit them to about 10%.
Hey, we've said on this show time and time again, we're not playing X team because it's their first game out of Coors Field. I don't have any data to back it up, but man, this White Sox team is abysmal. First game out of Coors, where quite frankly they disappointed anyway. I don't know. Berrios may be getting a bump in my pool just because first game out of Coors. We never play that team, and it's the White Sox, so. Something to think about.
I'm with you.
All right, the hard luck Guardians. If you look up their record, they've lost. I think it's 10 straight games. Hey, much to our favorite yesterday, my guy Hoop shipping over 50K because they lost their 10th straight game on a wild pitch to get the thing started. But you got the Guardians heading into Houston to take on this Astros team. We didn't talk about Colton Gordon, but any love for? Well, we're not going to talk pitchers, but any love for any of these Guardians bats? It would probably just be a one-off with J-Ram, or any interest in these Astros bats, which we always talk about. They don't have any lefties in the lineup. It looks like they got 3 tonight, though. So 3 lefties. They've been absolutely tearing the cover off the ball versus righties. Any love for any of these Guardians bats or these Astros stacks?
Yeah, we didn't say much about Colton Gordon, but he's one of those guys that I have in my player pool, and if I get some of him, I'm fine with it. Like, I like picking on teams that are struggling, and man, Cleveland's in a really bad spot right now, so I'm fine with him. And I agree with your point. Like, if it's anyone, it's just going to be like a one-off with Ramirez. He can get it done in any situation, overcome the team's deficiencies. So I'd be fine with Jose Ramirez, but really nothing else on the Cleveland side. And man, the problem I have with Houston, I just look at this lineup, and I know they've been winning ball games, and I just look at the lineup and want to puke. And I struggle to say, all right, I want to stack this team by looking at this lineup. I mean, this lineup looks atrocious to me, so I think
atrocious.
I'm out.
You got to have
look so bad
now.
Oh yeah, this lineup looks so bad. I mean, look at the bottom of that order.
Brutal.
Hummel, Trammell, Short, Corona. You have to give BB a bump here. Like, I don't even know who some of these dudes are. So I'm out on Houston for sure, bumping BB a little bit. And, there's nothing here I really like offensively.
Yeah, I did not look at this lineup, but yeah, Zach Short, isn't he a former Tiger great?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's awful. Kennedy Corona, never heard of him. Yeah. I think you got to bump BB. I mean, Paredes. I mean, even Cam Smith is fine, but batting second, that's not that's not any. Oh, you know what? It's what's his face? Christian Walker went out on paternity leave. So.
There you go, and that's probably makes the difference. That you're right. That's what it is.
Yeah, bump Bibby up too. Probably above Cameron, I think now. I like him a lot. Even on FanDuel, I would play him on a couple teams on FanDuel. Is where I'm playing tonight. But yeah, anyway, no bats for me in any of this game. Now that we talked about it, next game up, I don't think we'll have much to like in this. But Rangers at the Angels. He's got a low total, 7.5, kind of like the Brewers-Dodgers game. We both like these pitchers. Any one-off that you can see that you like that maybe you want to get in some action?
Anytime I'm playing Kikuchi, I make sure I have some stacks of the other team because he can strike out a lot, but man, he's done a little bit better job of it this year, limiting like the blowups. But when he's off, it can go really south. So I am interested in Texas, Seager, Semien, Dallas Garcia, Langford, definitely Jonah Heim. There are guys that can definitely do damage here. So I'm interested in Texas, knowing that I'm going to have a good chunk of Kikuchi and knowing, how that can go south in a hurry. So I'm in on these Texas guys a little bit, and they're not going to be highly owned. So it's not like you have to make a huge stand and take a bunch of Texas. You can play just a little bit and be over the field. So in on them, and I'm just not going to really pick on DeGrom in this ballpark. So nothing really for me on the Los Angeles side, but yeah, interested in some Texas bats to counteract Kikuchi ownership a little bit.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, definitely no Angels bats, but if for some reason he only goes 4 innings, 5 innings, you're going to get 4 or 5 innings of this, literally the worst bullpen in the majors. And that's when Seager, Langford, Semien are going to do the damage. I think that's a great point that you make. And that's so true though. Like if you play like 150 Kikuchis, he's getting blown up. If you don't play him, he's going to strike out 12. That's just the way he does it.
That's how it goes. 100%.
Every time he takes the bump, you're always holding your breath if you got him on your roster.
Yes.
Because you just never know what this guy's going to do.
You don't know.
Excellent point there. Next game up on the slate, Zach Gallen going in to the Padres to take Yu Darvish, the cover boy. I kind of like some of these Diamondback bats going up against you, making his first start of the season. Gallen had a great performance his last time out, but before that has gotten blown up a time or two. Any interest in any of these Diamondbacks or Padres stacks?
Definitely prefer Arizona over San Diego if choosing. Like if you're kind of sizing up who you like better. For me personally, it's Arizona. Darvish coming off the injured list here, and Diamondbacks offense looks solid. I mean, Carroll, Marte, Josh Naylor, Suarez, and Darvish is a guy. If he's off, teams will hit the ball off him. So I'm in on Arizona. I'll probably have some San Diego. I'm building a lot of teams, so I'll probably have some. But something tells me Zach Gallen could be good here, and I don't know what it is. So I think I'm higher on Gallen than the San Diego offense. I will have San Diego. I mean, probably more like 3-mans with, the main dudes, Tatis, Machado, Merrill. But I'm more interested in Arizona. It's going to be the main dudes, though. The guys at the top shouldn't be super highly owned in this ballpark. There's a lot of other offenses that look more appealing, but more Arizona than San Diego for me tonight for sure.
Yeah, agree with you there. And then, it's the top 3 for me. So I would just do minis. I'm not playing Luis Arraez batting cleanup. I mean, he can't hit the ball out of the infield. It'd be the top guys for me in that one. Moving on to the next game. But before we do that, if you aren't a member over here at The Nation, make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a ton. We got a few more games to breeze through. Actually, we're at the last game. We flew through this, but we got the Phillies. Christopher Sanchez going into San Fran to take on the Giants. Any love for these Phillies bats taking on Landon Rube in this ballpark? We typically don't like attacking.
Don't love the bats here. I mean, this ballpark obviously not great for hitting. The total in this game sitting at 7.5. It's very, very low. I like Sanchez a lot. Probably when factoring in price, probably my favorite pitcher on the slate. So I just don't really think I'm going to get to San Fran all that much on the slate, and I'm fine with it. Like if they beat me, no problem. But definitely like Sanchez, not going to be playing San Fran. I will have some Phillies guys though. I mean, I don't anticipate any of them to be highly owned. So when that's the case, you can kind of just focus on the good guys. Schwarber, Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, guys like that. You don't need to get cute when you're stacking a low-owned offense. So I'll just take like the main guys and get a little bit of exposure to them. Not going to be a priority by any means, but I will get some exposure against Rupp. So Phillies main guys, the Schwarbers, Harpers of the world, and I'm just not going to really be playing San Fran at all. And that's kind of how I'm doing this one here.
Yeah, I generally don't stack in this park, but I mean, you see the projection. You see the projection that the top three are getting, and then you see the ownership, which is not very high. I think the Phillies might be a good little contrarian stack, and definitely no Giants for me.
Yeah, agree. Definitely agree.
That'll do it. That's all 9 games, Hoop. But before we get out of here, hey, I always got to do it. We always do it on shows that I'm on. I need a dawn call of the day. You got any sleepers up your sleeve that are going to hit a home run tonight?
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily a sleeper, but it's a guy that we both liked. And when we talked about the team, we were kind of prioritizing. It's going to be Mr. Hunter Goodman is going to hit a bomb for us tonight against Dick Fitz. Hunter Goodman, bomb off of Dick Fitz. How about that?
If the Dick Fitz don't fit, you must get Hunter Goodman a home run. That's what we're going with tonight.
Yeah.
You're going with Dick Fitz. You're not going. You're going with Hunter Goodman.
Going against. I'm saying the Dick is not going to fit for Mr. Goodwin tonight.
I'm going to go with Jonathan India against Andrew Heaney. You see it here. I mean, he's green across the board. He doesn't strike out against lefties at home. He's going to double his DK projection, almost double it in one fell swoop, one swing of the bat. Jonathan India, yard, $3,400 tonight. Before we get out of here, Hoop, any closing statements you want to make?
Nothing in particular. I mean, solid 9-game slate. We have solid pitching. We have solid offenses. Get in there, make sure, stack up these teams. Let's get those SHIPIT Nation logos at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, let's get those SHIPIT Nation logos at the top of the leaderboard, and you too can be a part of the nation if you head over there now. Enter the promo code MLB75. That'll get you $75 off of your first month, down to $24. You can check out the Saber Sim, up to 150 lineups. That's how Hoop printed 50 plus K yesterday using the Saber Sim. All the coordinators use it over here as well. It's a great tool. That'll do it for us. We'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time with another show. Our guy Title, our guy Nade's on vacation this week, so we're kind of filling in as we go. But everybody, good luck today in your contest. We'll see you at the top of the leaderboards. Let's ship it.